Welcome to Voices of Nativity, where we sit down with people who bring our mission to life, from students and alumni to parents, teachers, and friends of the school. Brother Bill, man, welcome. This is our very first episode of the Voices of Nativity. I'm so excited to have the founder here today. This is really a cool process for me. Nativity Prep is a special place, Bill. You've built something tremendous. The only donor-funded, tuition-free private middle school that helps kids 5th through 8th grade, not only for 3 or 4 years, brother, but you look to help them find the best possible fit college prep high school. And then after that, my man, you go, all right, let's help them in high school. Let's work with the staff at those high schools and find them the best 2-year, 4-year college or career. I mean, Bill, that's amazing. So, brother, thank you so much for coming today. Welcome.
Oh, it's great to be here, James. And it's quite an opening, and it has been quite a journey. It's been a lot of fun over the last 20 some odd years to watch Nativity come to life. And, God bless you for being here for the last 5, 6, whatever it might have been.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've helped transform the school into what it is today.
Yeah, so, Bill, when you think about the beginning of this journey, and I know the story, but the world needs to hear it, man. When this started in your mind, what does that look like? Walk me to those early days. What started this journey for you for Nativity Prep?
Well, I first learned about Nativity well over 20 years ago when our oldest son, Joe, graduated from Villanova and went into the Jesuit Volunteer Corps. For 2 years. And he was assigned to Nativity Prep in Boston, which is one of the schools that has been around for, 40 or 50 years, one of the oldest schools.
That's right.
And so I had no understanding or awareness or knowledge of Nativity at the time. And my wife and I went up to visit the school. She's the educator.
Yes,
I'm a business guy, so I think we probably looked at the school and we got there from a slightly different perspective. But when we were there, we were shocked. We were amazed at the students that were there, how poised they were. They came, they looked us in the eye, shook our hands, and not knowing exactly all of their backgrounds, but knowing they were coming from the inner city. We were incredibly impressed by just the environment there. Yeah. This was a place of learning, and then we sat down and talked with the head of school, who was a Jesuit, and learned about the incredible success that they had over the past 40 some odd years. Kids, coming out of the inner city environment, who obviously didn't have the privileges and advantages of those that were in the suburbs. And, the achievement of graduating from not only the middle school at Nativity Prep, but going on to high school and then on into college, it just blew our minds. And so as we were driving back, my wife, Chrissy, said, you're retired. You're on the board. You're on the board at McQuaid Jesuit.
Go ahead, Chrissy.
And so we got to do this in Rochester. We got to look at a way to do this. And the background for that goes even further because Chrissy worked a lot with the inner city schools in Rochester, inner city Catholic schools there, did a lot of work on the tutoring programs, understood the nature of the need for these students. But I was on the board of McQuaid, and we were trying to find a way to bring the Jesuit tradition of educating the poor into McQuaid, and it was difficult to get students who were academically qualified to come in. And so the combination of those two things said, this is something that we got to bring into life in Rochester.
That's beautiful. And Chrissy, you better have. We know this, brother. Yeah. Fantastic. And as we build this out, Bill, we're going to have educators, alumni, because you built something special here. She will be one of the co-founders. She's going to, we got to talk to her, I know. But I'd love to have her insights because I love to hear her side of the equation. And I love what you said regarding, some of the young people from Rochester looking for a better choice, right? We talk about under-resourced, underserved communities and how it's about opportunity and access. And what you created with Nativity, in my opinion, is something really, really unique because it's saying, I'm investing in your opportunity, this potential you have. I see the strength, the courage, and your commitment, your family's commitment to what your dream is, but you need the resources, right? We talk about it at Nativity all the time. You don't pick the zip code you're born to, but it's about the chance to partner with someone, to have that coalition of love and support, that community to help them, to help a young person see they're brilliant. They just need that path, or at least some friends along the way to be that network, right? And you've done an amazing job. So I have to ask this, man, when when you started this off, that beautiful piece, when you went up there and you saw your son and said, okay, this is really cool. You connected with the Jesuits because you were a board member there at McQuaid. When did you see this dream becoming a reality? When did it kind of flip from, all right, conceptually, I know the people. I have the friends and the colleagues. I have the circle of individuals that really believe in what I'm trying to accomplish. We see the changes in Rochester when it comes to the Catholic education system. But I think our young people in Rochester deserve top-notch education, regardless of where they come from. When did that dream become a reality for you?
Well, I guess initially, James, was really more of a goal than a dream. And the goal was to open a school. And I have to say that while we may have precipitated this, and my presence on the board of McQuaid helped to facilitate this, because Nativity is a Jesuit institution.
That's right.
This took dozens and dozens and dozens of people to bring to fruition, and incredible support across the community. Because establishing a school was quite a journey. It was a 4 to 5 year journey, and it took a lot of help and a lot of education along the way. The Sisters of St. Joseph, who are also co-sponsors of the school, along with McQuaid Jesuit, were instrumental in helping to facilitate that. They have the resources. I think they've educated half of Rochester. So, they had plenty of resources there, and they knew about education, and they had that background. So, it really was one of those journeys, I guess, that, quite frankly, I didn't know what I was getting into when we first started. But it really took, a ton of people to make it happen. And these are folks who were on the business community, people who were supporters, academic community, that really pulled together to make this happen. And it was challenging and sometimes daunting. Working with New York State to get certification was an interesting process. I mean, we had to get a school charter and go through that, which took several years. But at the end of the day, we did open the school in 2009, and when the first 22 students walked in, it was a great day. It was a wonderful day.
So, Bill, with that in mind, was that? And I'm leading you here. I shouldn't, brother, but I have to ask. When did it click? When did it click for you? Because I know you co-founded. You also ran the school from time to time. You've done a lot to make sure that Nativity found that stability to ensure that this place was now we're in a different place, right? Think about 17 years later, Bill, what you've built and where we are at this moment. And we're going to get to that later on in the show, another episode. So I'll come back. But when did you realize that the dream or the plan the momentum started to build, that you saw the fruition of the work that you had been doing on the front end on the front end, to see now all of a sudden all the outcomes are here. Yeah. Oh my goodness, here we go. It's starting to really make sense. We have something special in Rochester.
Well, I think the first milestone was our first graduating class.
Yes.
Okay, and that took a while. I have to tell you, the early days, it was a roller coaster ride. We're bringing these students in. We're trying to teach them through an entirely different education model than they've been before.
Right.
Very long school day, 7:30 in the morning till at that time 5:30 in the afternoon.
That's right.
Including Saturday sessions. A new staff. Who didn't know each other, had to get together. Discipline did not exist at the time, so we had to sort of bring that into place. We had our values that were put in place. We had to teach the students. I have to tell you, the first month, we didn't do a lot of educating. Right. We were just doing a lot of bringing the people together into what this school is all about, and the culture of the school, and the expectations of the school. And the students responded. It took a while. It's funny. One of the things that's a characteristic of the Nativity schools, of which there were about 60 of them across the country at the time, they pay it forward. The schools have annual meetings of administrators and principals and teachers and graduate support directors to bring them together to teach best practice. And I went to one of those. I had visited, by the way, about 13 schools before we even opened Nativity, so I understood a little bit about the process. But it was funny because at the first meeting after we opened that I went to, which was of the school presidents, they were saying, "How's it going?" Sitting at a table, and I said, "Well, it's a little bit of a rock and roll here." And I said, "If I knew now what I, back then," he said, "this would have been quite a challenge." He said, "They just laughed." He said, "Well, if we told you that, you probably wouldn't have opened the school."
That's
so
a great story.
it did start on a little bit of a rough ride, but the kids came together, the teachers came together, and by year 2 and year 3, and the critical factor is when the older students, the 7th and 8th graders, they started telling the 5th and 6th graders, "This is how we do things at Nativity." They became leaders, and that first graduating class, it was wonderful. And to this day, the memories of those kids and where those kids have gone is really special.
That's a fantastic story, and Bill, to build off that, that's exactly the magic, kind of that secret sauce you talk about. That's exactly what happened this year. So brand new year, you get new kids.
Yep.
It was the older, Ms. Kramer, Jen, our fantastic principal, who will be on the show another episode. When we saw the clicking of the culture, the community, the connectivity, the relationships, staff, all staff were aligned. We understand our model and our values, and we're teaching those. But it really made sense for the youngsters, the new kids, is when the older kids, the returning kids, the ones that have been there 2 or 3 years, and many 4 and 8th grade, said, "Hey, listen, this is how we do it. It's okay. You can trust so-and-so, Mr. So-and-so, Miss So-and-so. They got your best interest." That is amazing to watch. And I've been very blessed to be there and to see that on a daily basis.
Yeah, and even of greater impact, I guess, to Chrissy and myself, and I think to a lot of the supporters of the school, but even to the students, and I'm sure to you and Jen and the staff, is when the graduates come back. That's special.
Yeah,
that's really special.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And you're right. And we just had another visit this week as we're taping this episode. We had another alum come back and just pop in. I didn't get permission to get her name, but I'm just you know her well. She's at East now. She went from at Finney. She transitioned over to East, and she's in the Upward Bound program over there. And she's looking to go to St. John Fisher, which is one of our longtime partners. Brother Bill, nicely done. And she wants to be a nurse, man. And it's powerful because she came back and spoke to the kids, and I just so amazing. And Bill, I want to as we kind of pivot or close out this fantastic episode, I want to share with you just the things you just spoke about, the things that you built. It permeates throughout the facility. So when I came for my first tour with Phil DiPasquale, former trustee, that confidence and that self-advocacy and the agency, the youngsters feeling that they belong, they believed in themselves, that absolute, it just came across. Every time I met a youngster and I shook the hand, I'm like, what's going on here? This is fantastic. They feel safe, secure, loved, supported, and it was phenomenal. And that's what we need today. We need that kind of coalition, and I really appreciate what you've done. So as you think about, now you kind of the foundation, brother, and you said it clicked, especially when the alums come back. And now we've had alums host. Bill, man, we've had alums who are now in college and career, young men, finance men, host events for us. The future looks really bright. And so I guess for me, Bill, as you think about the beginning of your journey and where you saw it when you started an inception of what Nativity could be to this day where now we're having alums host events and really paying it forward. For you and your dream of dreams, what's next? Big picture. What's next?
Well, I don't know, too. That one's coming out of the blue to me. I think it's not about so much what's next. It's to how do we ensure that the Nativity, continues into the future, and
absolutely,
that sustainability is absolutely critical for it, for the school, because what we've seen, the magic that it does, and we're small. But the impact on each student is large.
Yes.
And what we want to do is be able to continue that progress going forward. Ideally, we'd like to help a lot more students. But it would be great if we could open another school. But, you got to take it one step at a time. And since it is totally donor funded, it does require the support of the community, which we've had And I tell you, anytime, as you well know, if we bring somebody to Nativity and give them a tour and meet the students and see the magic that happens there because of you and Jennifer and the entire staff, who I can't
Great
thank
staff.
enough for all that you do for
Tremendous
these kids. That's where the magic is, and hopefully we can continue that well into the future.
Yeah, brother, I tell you, that's the goal. Absolutely. Bill, you've built something great, and my commitment to you, and I think our whole community, is to take that sustainability to the next level. Right? We've talked about, my vision for our school is to one day go right back on the board with you and watch one of our alums lead us into the future. So you got to say it. So first episode, everybody, we're saying it right now. We're putting it in the air, and in prayer and faith, we're looking for that future, and I'm so excited about this. Bill, thank you for starting us off, because right now this podcast, I'm hoping, will connect with so many people in Rochester to hear this story and many more stories, and understand that Nativity Prep no longer is the best kept secret in Rochester. We are absolutely here to stay for generations to come, and we are committed to helping young people and families looking for a better opportunity for education. So, Bill, thank you so much for joining us on our first episode, sir.
Amen. It's wonderful.
Man, it's awesome.
Take care, buddy.
Thank you, man.